You're watching dcbornrob, Erasing Borders.
It is Sunday, March 23rd, 2025, and this is the latest news update for Latin America. I think I have about 20 stories. They're not in any particular order, so make sure you stay to the end. Let's jump into the first one right away. Sheinbaum's master plan. Can Mexico dodge Trump's tariffs chaos? Mexico's economy is on the line. President Sheinbaum unveiled a bold strategy to shield Mexico from a U.S. tariff storm set for April 2nd. Facing a predicted 1.3 GDP drop and Finch's 0% growth warning, she's banking on $277 million in investments and grassroots growth to defy the odds. Trump's 25% tariffs threaten chaos, but Sheinbaum's unfazed, slamming global forecasts and pushing her, quote, Plan Mexico, unquote. Trump shocks 532,000 migrants, parole revoked for Cubans, Haitians, and more. On March 21, 2025, Trump acts legal status for over 532,000 Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan migrants, ending Biden's CHNB parole program. Starting April 24, 2025, they could lose work permits and face rapid deportation. The Department of Homeland Security calls it a border security move, but critics slam it as cruel. From Miami and beyond, lives are on the line. Petro's pivot to China. Colombia ditches U.S. after Trump clash. Colombia is shaking up the game on March 22, 2025, after a fiery spat with Trump over migrant flights. President Gustavo Petro doubled down on China ties, with $2.4 billion in exports like oil and minerals dwarfed by $15.9 billion in Chinese imports. Petro's eyeing Beijing to dodge U.S. tariffs. Expert Bruce McMasters warns Colombia's industries lag without bold policies, facing contraband chaos. Is this a genius move or a risky gamble? Costa Rica's secret deal with Trump, 200 migrants, no paper trail. On March 21, 2025, Costa Rica's foreign minister spilled the tea. Their deal to take 200 U.S. deported migrants was all verbal, no written contract. Made with the Trump administration, this hush-hush pact lets the United States send folks to Costa Rica with costs covered, but lawmakers are fuming over the secrecy. The migrants stuck at Cadam can't roam free despite no crimes here. Is this a humanitarian win or a sneaky favor to a big ally? Canadians' ICE nightmare, chained and kidnapped at the U.S. border. On March 20th, 2025, Jasmine Mooney, a Canadian, shared her 12-day ICE detention horror after a routine visa check at San Diego turned into a nightmare. Shackled, starved, and stuck in a freezing cell with no answers, she's faced inhumane conditions despite lawyers and media fighting for her. Released March 15th, she's barred from the U.S. for 5 years but vows to appeal. Maria Camilla's mystery. Interpol hints Colombian lost in Mexico. This is an update for the story for Maria Camila Diaz Grajiles, a 24-year-old from Medellin. She vanished in Mexico on February 26, 2025, after taking a job at a restaurant. Last seen in Benito Juarez, her family fears a trafficking ring snatched her. But the update is, on March 22nd, Interpol issued a yellow notice to turbocharge the search as her sister Christina begs for answers. We wish them luck in their search. Prayers and good vibes to the family. TikToker's birthday trip to Colombia turns into a kidnap nightmare. Janae Evans, a 23-year-old TikToker known as @YYANAJ, headed to Colombia in March 2025 to celebrate her birthday with friends. But what started as a festive night at Casa Palenque nightclub in Cartagena spiraled into pure terror. After hopping into a taxi, the driver veered off course, locking the doors and speeding towards an unknown fate. Janae and her crew fought back with fierce determination, punching and clawing at the would-be abductor until he relented, dumping them near their resort. The ordeal, captured in a raw TikTok video that racked up 6.5 million views, left Janae trembling and seeking therapy to process the trauma. She's warning travelers to stay vigilant, sharing how a dream trip turned into a fight for survival. So, this story was reduced, so read the entire story. I have no doubt it's true. Next up, U.S. Secretary Rubio's Jamaica showdown, Cuban medics in the crosshairs. Sparks fly as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio jets into Jamaica next week, confirmed March 22, 2025, to face off with PM Andrew Holness and top officials. Fresh off threatening visa bans for CARICOM nations over Cuban medical programs, Rubio's visit hints at tense talks. Jamaica's Foreign Minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith, defends the medical ties as legit, not trafficking. Will these high-stakes meetings shift alliances or ignite a diplomatic storm? Human Rights Watch slams Costa Rica, don't aid U.S. migrant abuses. Drama unfolds as Human Rights Watch blasts Costa Rica on March 20, 2025 for aiding U.S. migrant abuses. The NGO demands swift asylum processes for 200 deportees, including 80 kids, stuck at Kadam near the southern border. Fleeing persecution, some face return to danger, like a Christian convert from Iran deported after a U.S. interview. Critics say Costa Rica's complicity violates rights, splitting families across borders. Will Costa Rica stand up or bow to its northern ally? Deportees, desperate dash. Embassy hunt in Panama after U.S. boot. Erupts in Panama City as migrants from Afghanistan, Russia, Iran, and China deported from the United States scramble from embassy to embassy on March 21, 2025, begging for asylum. Dropped into limbo after Trump's crackdown, these 300 souls fleeing persecution face rejection at every door. Hatulaya Amaga, a 29-year-old Afghan, fears Taliban death if sent back. With no aid or clear path, they're racing against time. Peru's crime explosion. Lima and Callao locked down in emergency chaos. Peru's capital is on edge. On March 19, 2025, President Dina Boluarte declared a 30-day state of emergency in Lima and Callao as crime skyrockets, capping off with singer Paul Flores' murder by bus attackers. Military hits the streets. Rights like free movement are curbed as Boluarte's mulling the death penalty for killers. Outrage grows after cumbia star's death, with extortion and violence surging. Cuba's blackout crisis ignites U.S. tension. The U.S. headline stance shakes relations. Cuba's reeling from the massive blackout on March 16, 2025, leaving 11 million in the dark for over 24 hours amid fuel shortages and protests in Havana. The Trump administration, back in power, ramped up its tough stance on March 19th, funding Cuban media aid and threatening visa bans on nations hosting Cuban doctors. Cuba demands an end to the U.S. embargo and terrorism label, hinting at accepting deportations as 300 migrants hit Panama. With tension soaring, this clash could explode. British tourist visa chaos, freed from U.S. chains at last. A wild twist and a backpacker's tale. Rebecca Burke, a 28-year-old Brit, was detained for 19 hours in a U.S. ICE center in Tacoma after a visa mix-up during her North American trip. Denied entry into Canada, she was shackled and deported on March 18, 2025, landing at Heathrow to cheers. Her family slammed the Hannibal Lecter treatment with handcuffs and all. U.S. choppers and planes invade Panama, humanitarian heroes or security enforcers. Starting on March 24, 2025, U.S. Black Hawk helicopters and C-17 planes will swarm Panama for a month-long mission. Teaming up with Panama's Ministry of Security, the Southern Command is delivering school supplies to Eustopol, donating a health center in Playa Chico, and flexing muscle with joint surveillance drills. It's all about aid, food, medical teams, and boots plus security ops in remote areas. But is this just goodwill or a power play? Corona Island unleashed. Adults-only paradise with tiki huts and turtles. Escape to paradise. On March 19, 2025, Corona Island off Colombia's coast flung open its doors to the public after being an invite-only gym since 2021. This adults-only eco-haven boasts 10 tiki-style bungalows with jacuzzis, crystal-clear waters, and sea turtle nests. Book a $658 a night or $163 a day pass from Cartagena Speedboat, meals and Coronas included. Solar-powered and plastic-free, it's a sustainability win. Costa Rica visa loopholes, new law shakes up tourist stays. Big changes are coming. On March 18th, 2025, Costa Rica unveiled a bold law to stop visa runs and tighten immigration. Tourists can't re-enter for 90 days after maxing out their stay, facing heftier fines for overstays up to $300 monthly. Aimed at ending indefinite visits, it pushes long-termers towards residency. Digital nomads and pros dodged the ban, but tourism slump, down 7% in February, has critics worried. FYI, this story was condensed. There's a lot more to this information, a lot more information that's chunked in here. So if you one of the cats that are looking to reside in Costa Rica, you need to do due diligence on this. BlackRock's Panama port grab sparks China's fury. Deal in chaos. Within the past week, BlackRock's $23 billion bid to snag Panama Canal ports from Hong Kong's C.K. Hutchison ignited Beijing's wrath. China slammed the sale as a betrayal, with state media reposting fiery critiques, fearing U.S. control over key trade routes. The deal hands BlackRock, Balboa, and Cristobal ports, plus 41 others across 23 countries, while Hutchison pockets $19 billion. Trump's push to curb China's influence fueled this clash. Will it hold? Tourists trapped at U.S. borders. Shocking detentions sparked travel warnings. Chaos at U.S. borders. On March 21st, 2025, dozens of international tourists, like a Brit from Canada and Germans from Mexico, were detained despite valid visas. Held for weeks in centers like in San Diego, they faced unclear deportation, sparking global concern. Experts warn, have a valid passport, expect searches, and know your rights for silence. Silence alone might block entry. Stay informed for critical tips for your next U.S. trip amid this crackdown. Now, I did find an attorney. I may try to play it at the end of this video. If I don't, I'll do it in a separate one. But he gives good advice and says even it's going to be challenging for us Americans in attempts getting back in. He says that he travels and doesn't take his cell phone anymore because, they pull that up. They go on, log on. They take you in the back room, and I've seen that, and make you log in and get on your Twitter or whatever and see what you said, pro this, pro that. You ain't coming back. So that's a big one. I'm going to do a separate video on that one. Lastly, Roatan air disaster. 12 tourists lost in Caribbean crash, chaos. Tragedy strikes paradise. On March 17, 2025, a Jetstream 32 crashed into a sea off Roatan, Honduras, just a minute after takeoff, killing 12 of 17 aboard, including beloved Garifuna singer Arielo Martinez and pilots Luis Araya and Francisco Lagos. The Lashna flight to the La Ceiba sank 50 meters deep, leaving 5 survivors clinging to life. Rescue teams raced amongst time, but the cause remains a mystery. Prayers and good vibes to those who have lost loved ones in this incident and any other incident that happened to be mentioned in this video or any other video. It is a challenging time. And it's going to be I think it's going to be more of a challenging time over this next few years going abroad and coming back. Because not only now I think we have to be concerned with, can we even go in some countries, or how difficult are they going to make it for us to go in those countries as far as retribution, from whatever happened between our government here and them. We're going to have to deal with that. And we're also going to have to deal with, are they going to let us back in? And we're Americans. Because, these people that are being held at the border are missing. They came up, told nobody. They were not able to talk to anybody. They took their cell phones. So they were incommunicado for 2 weeks. Whatever the conditions were, they were kidnapped legally for 2 weeks. As far as I'm concerned, I'm using the word, but, it's going to be challenging. Guys and gals, my travel people, it's going to be challenging over the next few years. So do due diligence. Watch this channel and other channels like it that are putting up news that has to do with, can I cross this border? Can I cross that? Can I come back across this border? How difficult is it? Which forms do I need to fill out? Can I do them online? Do I have to pay for that form? Check me. So, and there's a lot. It is not just Checkmate that does that too. There's a bunch of scammers that go around and find out when you need to fill out some sort of electronic form, and they're just making the website look almost like it. And all I need to do is go on YouTube, make some videos, and just, I need to go click on that link. Or they may have the link in their description, and you click on it. Next thing you know, there, and it goes and it says it costs you $50. And in reality, it's a free service. It should be done by the government. You just fill out the information where you're going to stay, just like Checkmate. It looks like to me that they took away the old immigration form that they used to pass out on the flights. I've been abroad 3, 4, 5 times in the past year. Now, I don't recall being asked to fill out any forms. It's because everywhere I went, I had to do it online. Check MIG or whatever for Mexico. Mexico has it too. And now they have another one in Mexico too. So you have to go through that new visa thing. So the more this country challenges other countries, I think they may push back and challenge us travelers who just come in peace. You know, here's the international sign. I come in peace. I want no problems, bro. I just want to enjoy your culture. Anyway, you are up to date with the latest news from the Caribbean, from Latin America, from Mexico, North America, anything that has to do with travel. I'm doing my best. Let me know again if this format is working for you. These videos will be cut up like the other ones and made into shorts as well, because it looks like some people watch shorts more than some people watch the long form. And shout out to the people that I can see. I think it's like 55% of you that are pulling me up on your TV. So props to you guys. Props to you. Well, everybody who watches. But if you pull me up on the big screen, props. Much thanks. The subscription button definitely helps. Again, you're up to date with the latest news from Latin America. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
So I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you go down and hit subscribe. And definitely like. It helps that YouTube algorithm. You know what I'm talking about? See what I'm saying?
So, hey, girl. Thanks for coming by my place.
No worries. You mind if our girlfriend can come by with us?
Hell no. This is why I watch DC Rob.
Excited, dili na mag-online. Kung sabay dugayan, chika babes kay nasulan. Ay dali padulan, ako ang padulan. Karamelong luman, dili natuluman. Ay shock pa, makalok-kaloka. Si Bona sexy, lawas murag Coca-Cola. Ang kanyag ni mo sa akong kalibutan nga saan. Wala ko ikatubag, ikaw ra kong matawag. Murag kagabun sa kabugnaw sa taas. Sa imong paghawas, lawas ni mo lapas. Sinut walay gas-gas, ako amo bas-bas.
If you're in Medellin and you need dental work done, from a basic cleaning to major reconstructive surgery, come see my guy, Dr. Carlos Maury. Contact information in the description below. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.